first appeared on Great British Menu like 16 years
Only
ago.
pounds account.
It was. I haven't got one of those. Like when it was
Not yet,
16,
yeah.
not yet.
I'd pay good money. Fuck
Gotta
Boris.
use it, yeah. Yeah, I second that.
Yeah.
There we go.
Let me cut that prick's hair.
No.
He won't do it. And I'll cook him a meal. Yeah, we'll probably fuck him up. Welcome back to Cutting Close with me, Josh Hughes, aka the Tourette's Barber.
And me, Caolan, the special Irish fella. This is Cutting Close, where we have real conversations, interesting guests.
And we take nothing too seriously, and every conversation hits a little fucking close.
Right, let's get into it.
Let's do it.
Yow!
And if you want to support us on this pod, please like and subscribe wherever you're watching this. It fucking goes a long way for us, and we're already trying. God loves a trier. So today on the show, we're really excited to have a fucking legend, absolute legend, TV chef, 2 Michelin-starred restaurants, started himself, first pub in the UK to do that, best-selling author. It's Tom Kerridge, everyone. It's Tom Kerridge, everyone. Here he is. Thank you for coming on, Tom.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it. Honestly, pleasure.
Good way to start
Pleasure.
it, Josh,
Fuck
yeah.
it. Sorry, that was not as clean as I wanted it, but that'll be it.
It's the best intro I've ever had.
Thank you.
I'm so happy to see it.
I'm so glad you're wearing a hat.
Yeah.
To
be honest, I've been here 20 minutes and me too.
Yeah.
Like,
It might get pulled off at some stage, I'd
we're,
say. Yeah.
we're already sweating. We're already sweating. But I think even how I want to start, man, because obviously I think a lot of people will be asking us, like, how did this happen? How did we get together? Have you followed me for a little while knowingly?
Yeah. I've followed you probably, I don't know, about maybe over a year and a half, maybe 2 years.
I do remember seeing you pop up.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Popping bottles in the club. I remember you coming through, and I was touched, and that happened quite a few times for me, like coming up on the socials, and someone like yourself, especially verified. I mean, who gives a fuck about that? But it is still kind of great to see, and obviously I've followed your story, and obviously seen you on screens for a long time now. But just it's heartwarming to know for me, like online, seeing people follow your story. How does that make you feel, knowing people that follow along in your career and your life now?
Yeah, it is pretty cool when you come across people that come to the restaurants and then speak to us from, I don't know, whether they came to the pub when we first opened it. So the Hand of Flowers is 21 years old.
Wow.
Or from when they saw us from Great British Menu, have been on that
Beautiful
journey
age.
and watch things on the telly and come along with us. So it is, I mean, you're the same age as me when I opened the Hand of Flowers. So like, you are, I mean, you're further ahead of us on that journey. You've got people, you've got followers, you've got podcasts, you've got a business that you're running. How long have you been open?
This 2 years, but I started my first barbershop 6 years ago, so I would have been 25.
Yeah, so I mean, it's a young age to start building that business and growing, and it's really good that people will see you and go on that journey. And I think because of the way that your socials work and what you are, when you run a business or you've been in that position, and you know what it's like as a young person having a go at running a business, you want to try and support it as much as possible. And you come across the way that you talk and the way that you operate, you do come across as something that's talented, business-wise, structured, but also it's an interesting watch. There is a different thing to watch. It makes it engaging, and that's really, really. I think it makes it personal for everybody to understand, to go on that journey. So to know people have done the same for us, I mean, it is pretty mega.
Yeah.
But we did it before. Like I opened before the internet.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? I was there before the gram existed.
100%.
Has that helped though?
Well,
Since you've had that, or
that's a great
name,
question, actually, because I think sorry, please you answer that question.
Yeah. I think I was very lucky because we did Great British Menu and we did well on it. The fact that that's when I think television, and there was not as many people watching YouTube, not as many people getting it. The way that people watch TV now is very, very different. When I first appeared on Great British Menu like 16 years ago.
Only pounds account.
It was. I haven't got one of those. Like when it was.
Not yet.
I'd pay good money. Show us a little bit in need. A bit in need, Tom.
16 years ago, you go. People would watch television at a particular time, and people would go on there. So it was a slightly different, but it would be millions at once. Great British Menu would have 2 or 3 million people
just
watching it,
that,
and you go. So it hits the same sort of way. Now there's so many different multimedia
you can
channels
access it whenever
to
you
try
want
and
now,
get it.
I think also
So
people come up in different ways now, because I think you would have had, I suppose, that TV style where obviously you got on TV initially, but then I suppose so many people now come up through social and almost like skip. I suppose it's not now, but they do almost skip processes that maybe your generation had to go through to get to that point.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. And then there's also that point. See, I consider myself very lucky. I think I look at my television career and the media way and the way that it's grown. I'm pretty much one of the last chefs that ever got a gig on telly. That chefs that have come through that then have got their own TV series
those
and
channels
stuck with it in that old school traditional way of going BBC One, BBC Two, Channel 4, ITV, whatever it is, and then a cookery book and whatever.
Just all grew.
Loads more people now. The way that the media works, it isn't just they're not commissioning new faces on television. What they're doing is they're playing with the old versions of it, people that they know, and just seeing. So I'm probably one of the last
of them now.
Breed,
Well, now all you need is TikTok and Instagram to blow up, and that's the same thing these days, isn't it? So obviously you put a lot of work in before this all happened, I'm guessing. So
but that's what makes it exciting. Yeah. But that's what also makes you, when you see your stories, the way that it's working and the way that you're moving forward, because there is so much more opportunity and noise out there from things like this where people can get a conversation and get it out there and seen, that to actually break through, there's so much more people you're trying to break through into.
Definitely. And I suppose it depends on which way you look at it. Yeah, there is a lot more opportunity, but there's a lot more people doing it. As well. That's another thing as well. Like, what did we hear the other week? How much is posted on YouTube?
4.8 million minutes a day or so. It was like stupid hours. It was
you couldn't comprehend that. Well, and it doesn't fucking matter. It's just a fact that I find mental.
It's hard to get seen in it. It's hard to get seen
every day. That's how much gets uploaded. So to actually stand out, even for us in this situation now, trying to put this out on YouTube, not saying it doesn't do well. We're really trying to push and work on it. But just because I've got 2 million followers on a couple of different accounts doesn't mean that this is absolutely going to work.
No.
But this is why you got fuck off, Tom, and your mum. Sorry.
It's your birthday today.
Really? Happy birthday, Mrs. Kerridge. Isn't that nice, isn't it? Oh, well, we're going to go around for tea and cake after. Was it pie and cake in your neck of the woods?
Yeah, well, I don't know. She's down in Gloucestershire. What's she doing tonight? She's going out for all-you-can-eat carvery, I think, with my brother.
That's the best way to do that.
Love that shit. Toby, is it?
I think it might be, you know.
Well, you can't fucking fix it if it ain't broke.
It's a fact, yeah.
100%. Fuck off, will you?
I was going to say, I've seen you do have a couple of flaws online, being a Man United fan.
Yeah, I am a Man United fan.
This is, and I'm a Middlesbrough fan.
Oh, you're a Middlesbrough fan?
So you've got the old boy in charge now. Do you Carrick in or out?
He's in, yeah. Well,
he's in now, 2 years, isn't it?
He's got the job, 2 year
Do you back
contract.
him, though?
Yeah. I don't think they're left with any choice, were they? I think, I'm not... I'm not an expert on football, but I think if you're looking at it and you're going, if they give it to somebody else and they lose the first 2 or 3 games of the season, everyone's going, you should have given it to Carrick. So I just think they've gone, and a 2-year contract is great, and he's done a great job. He's done a great job. He's
done fair play to him. He's done good. But I was saying, because I didn't actually realise you did a lot of work with Marcus. Was it Marcus Rashford for the full-time menu?
We did, yeah. So full-time meals.
That's a good thing to do, wasn't it, at the time?
So that was another thing that comes from socials, where a lot of people will talk about socials being bad, but sometimes they can be used for so much good.
Yeah.
So Marcus's voice and noise was being used for kids and free school meals and pushing that forward, and absolutely that campaigning that pushed on government was brilliant. And then me and Marcus hooked up together and started to talk about how we can. There's something called a Healthy Start scheme, which is about giving people money to try and get them to encourage. If you are on universal credit, it allows you to buy certain different things from shops.
Yeah,
and it was a cut right. And we put together 52 recipes, one a week, of low cost, budget friendly, super tasty meals that would appeal to everybody. So that's where the socials came in. It was really good. So myself and Marcus put that, and it was a great thing to do. And that's where
I think the main part, the heart of the issue is, I think people don't realise. I think in different places in the country, so many people wouldn't be touched by that, but then I don't think they realise it's happening.
Yeah,
I suppose more now more than ever, really.
Now more than ever.
It's like
food poverty, child food poverty is a massive thing. I mean, child food poverty exists because poverty exists, and that's the biggest issue of trying to equal everything out and trying to make it right and that's not our job as chefs or barbers to be able to solve it.
No,
but you can use
you can involve yourself,
try and push for the right things in the right direction for the right people to be listened to. I think
I couldn't agree more. But I think like you just said, that actually as chefs and barbers we can't do it, but I think actually, in a weird way, we actually deal with the same thing where we're seeing people like on a day-to-day basis. Like in our barbershop, we talk to people in different backgrounds, but all the time. Yeah. And I think in our little world in our little barbershop, that people share stuff with us that they wouldn't necessarily share with their friends or whatever. And the cheap therapy thing as barbers is obviously a massive thing, but it's beautiful because they only tell us what they want us to know, but that's all we know from them. I don't know them outside of these four walls. And I kind of feel like it's kind of similar when someone's in your restaurant. I know you're not talking to them as closely as we would because we're literally right behind their heads and banging them up the arse. Only on the weekends in late night services. I do charge extra for that. That's Tom, if you're interested. Anyway. But going back to the serious matter, it's just that little insight into people's lives that is the beautiful part of what we see, you know?
Yeah, I do think when you have that opportunity, when you're talking with people and they can let you know, and it is interesting to think that you hear so much more now, people talk about money, poverty, how they can't afford to do things, and their daily lives. People are still getting haircuts, people are still coming for something to eat, but actually that daily process of how the lives are affecting them. And although we have a 2 Michelin-star space that is seen as top end and is super expensive and all of those sort of things, we do have, we've got a pub down the road that is burgers and chips and football on the telly and beer. I like it. And actually throughout most of post-COVID, just up until the last year, the last 4 years, we did Kids Eat Free in the afternoon. And we didn't really advertise it, but there was certain people that would come 3 times a week because they couldn't afford, and nobody says anything, don't they? And you just feed them the Kids Eat Free, and it's just one of those things that even in a community like Marlow, which is seen as this, it is a beautiful Thames Riverside, middle class affluent area, and you just go okay, but actually around the outsides and around, poverty exists pretty much everywhere.
Of course, and I think that, again, Caolan being Irish, you see it in a different style. Like you grow up in Ireland, obviously, and I grew up in just outside North London. We see the same things. I've lived in a relatively affluent area, but then where I went to school was shocking. And I feel bad saying it like this. I didn't know until I went to secondary school that I lived in a big house. Went to secondary school, became friends with people around me who they might have 2-3 siblings with a single mum and live in a 2-bedroom flat. I never looked at it in that way, like, oh, you're less than me at all. It was never like that. But it made me appreciate that quite early on. Yeah. And again, living in a big house in an affluent area, you don't, I think, unless you don't mix, you don't see it. No. But what you just said then, surrounding areas, it's not that they need that support just as much.
Those sort of things are really important. So I grew up in the middle of 3 estates in Gloucester. It's funny, I was back there yesterday and went to see, took my son, who's grown up very differently to me, to the flat where my mum and dad split up.
Nepo.
My dad lived. And you just went, and my son's grown up in Marlow in a nice big house on the river, like it completely different. But we make sure he goes to a normal state school where he has to mix and he has to understand, because he's privileged enough as it is. His mum's an artist, his dad's a chef, he's surrounded by great food, he does really cool things. Actually the realization that most people's lives are very, very different is so important for them to be able to understand that everybody else's life. Everybody has lots of different struggles and things.
100%.
The normality of it is not like.
But I think it's also making sure that he's grateful of what he does have when you can see what others don't.
Yeah, well, those are life lessons that as parents you've got to try and teach them, isn't it? Like that's the hardest thing. I mean,
make sure you're on the right side of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Someone's got some money. It's all.
I did want to say though as well, with the 2 Michelin-star place, how hard is it yearly you get judged on keeping the stars?
Yeah, so the Michelin Guide comes out every year, and it comes out normally at the beginning of the year, end of January, beginning of February, and you never know when they've come in. They never announce. They come, they disappear, and you only know if you've managed to maintain it. If you go to the awards do, hopefully you get the invite. If you get the invite, you think, okay, they're not going to invite me and then tell me I've lost. Yeah. So you go there and you hope, and so you only find out pretty much on that awards do. Also, people, if they're winning stars or if people are going from 1 to 2 stars or 2 to 3 stars, they only find out on that night, which... God,
the pressure of that.
It is.
I was going to say,
But it's great. I mean, that means that every guest, particularly the Hand of Flowers, is open 7 days a week. Every single guest could be possibly inspected, which means every single guest is super important, which drives consistency.
Keeps you on your toes in a simple way,
It's the same as you. If you got to cut everybody's hair, the same level, the same quality every single time. Otherwise, they're never going to come back. It's about driving business fundamentally. And the Michelin Guide is actually written for the guests. It's not written for chefs. The guest buys the book to go, I'd like to eat there, and there, because that's a level that I'd like to eat.
Well, I even love the history of Michelin, because it did start as obviously it was tyres, and that, obviously the Michelin, obviously people know them as tyres, but like, wasn't the story goes that it was actually about where to stop on your route around the country?
Yeah, it was, well, from north to south of France, there's a main motorway that went down, and it was to encourage people to drive more. So the more you drive and you visit these restaurants, the more actual rubber you're using on your tyres, which means that, so that was the whole point of it. It was a marketing tool to get you out driving. But then actually, as they went through it, they went, well, this is actually very good. Then we'll give that a star, 1 to 3 star. So it's developed from there. So it was
crazy,
originally a marketing tool, and I suppose it still is.
Yeah.
You know, people will associate. But the way that motorsport or cars associates with the Michelin Guide they are two very, very different things. But that's how it started. Yeah,
it's the only good thing to come out of France.
Yeah.
Sorry. I love the French. I love their roads actually as well. Have you driven in France much?
I have, yeah.
Isn't it lovely?
I do a road trip every year.
Do you?
With 5 other chefs, like 4 other 2 or 3
Gino?
Michelin-starred chefs. No, Gino's not on it. Michelin-starred chefs.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Have some of that. He's from fucking Sheffield. Where do they say he's from? Is it Sheffield?
Yeah, like
it's a fake accent.
Yeah.
Just catching shots.
Yeah. Ironically, he's in hot water. So bowing my dad. Yeah.
So Gino doesn't come on the trip, no. But there are Claire Smith, who's a 3 Michelin-star global chef, Sat Bay's 2 stars, Claude is 2 stars, Daniel Clifford is 2 stars, and we go on a road trip for 4-5 days through France.
So it's a 9-star car walking.
Yeah, well, yeah, we each have our own car with our radios in, a bit like a Top Gear thing. It's like a Top Gear special.
Sounds like a bit of crack.
It's a great crack, and then we go and eat dinner every night at 2 or 3 Michelin-star restaurant, and it's mega. We drive 400-500 miles in a day, and we go and have dinner somewhere, and it's brilliant. It's a mega
that
trip.
sounds like a TV show.
Yeah, actually, we like to do it and not be filmed.
Yeah, I can imagine.
It's your thing then, yeah.
Yeah, because it's the one escape, and it's actually all we do is just talk about food in the industry and about what's going on and how exciting it is, and you become inspired by it, like as opposed to worrying about whether the mic's on or the camera's on.
Yeah.
You can just go and enjoy.
Is that where you actually find your muse then? That kind of, is that
exactly that? Yeah. And you can sit there with other chefs talking about other things, and you haven't got to worry about anything else like family life, work life, or anything. You can just sit there, talk about that food, that dish inspired by that person, and it's a proper chef's getaway.
Yeah.
So it's a really lovely trip.
Because that's the thing is, I think even in our industry, like there's big barbering shows all over, and we've been to loads of shows, and I think actually sometimes, as great as the shows are, and I'm not putting the shows down with any or food shows, whatever, but sometimes you're like, God, I do that at work. I don't need to go and do that on the weekend as well.
Yeah.
But you do need to sometimes go there to be inspired, right?
Yeah.
You know.
But a lot of it does become work. I mean, we briefly touched on it before we started recording, but so much of what you do or what I do suddenly it goes from being the business that you run, it's kind of how on a daily basis.
Yeah.
The business that I run is I've got 5 restaurants that are all trying to operate and make money and try and exist and and work well so that everyone can get paid and all of those that they have to exist like that. But all the other bits that you have to do, which you quite enjoy doing, the setup of the thing is quite exciting. But the more you do it, the more it is work. And it is a job, and it does become part and parcel.
People see the fruit but not the labour.
Yeah.
And this is it. And I really do. And the older I'm getting, the more I'm realising. I think even you see that now, Quinn, as well, because I think, again, working together. What are you fucking laughing at, Ryan? Yes, Quinn is slightly younger than me.
Just about.
Not that he looks it. Not that he looks it. Tom's the youngest one here. But no, I'm trying to say it in a sense of like, people often think that I'm fucking minted because I've got 2 shops and we are doing quite well, but it doesn't work like that. And
2 shops is twice the cost.
Of course it is, and it's the overheads and all that, right? I'm not saying that we're not, but you have to sacrifice at first. Again, I'm only 6 years into my business, but I'm not paying myself loads because the business is doing okay, because I've got to keep it in the fucking business to pay all the staff and keep the lights on.
Yeah, well,
and even more in your industry.
Most people in my businesses earn more money. They all earn more money than me. I pay myself a very small amount. My revenue, my income comes from all the other stuff now. Because at the minute the business is just having to operate and stay. So my income comes from everywhere else. The business is just about making money. Everyone's getting paid, and they all get paid a proper salary. Whereas, but I take very little out of the business. Right. But that's what you've got to do as business owners. You just have to.
Audi's looking for a little bit more airtime, please. Audi, M&S, a bit more. Not just the butter. Can I be honest? The way you eating that butter is quite sexual.
Do you like that?
Yes, I do like that, because you
see OnlyFans content didn't come in.
Yeah, OnlyFans. I mean, that's got to be something. Yeah, because you put it on thick and all, right?
Oh yeah, it's proper.
Yeah.
I like to think of butter, good butter like that. It's like cheese. Like you don't have a thin. You have it's a proper bit.
He said that in the advert.
Is that what I said?
You did. I only watched it. I didn't even. You did. You said you have to have it thick like cheese.
Oh, there you go, then.
David Seaman.
Jesus Christ.
Sorry. Sorry. I'm not even embarrassed about it, but I just know that it's
coming out.
Come.
Well, was there
Sorry, I'm trying to take myself back to where I should be.
A moment then when you first started chefing where you realised was Michelin-starred ever a name, or was that just something that happened down the line?
Yeah, well, sort of yes and no. I'd always worked in really good restaurants. So I worked in nice places. In my first job, actually, was in a Michelin-star hotel in the West Country. So I grew up in Gloucester, and I worked in this country house hotel that had a Michelin-star. And so straight away, you saw the standards and the levels of the spaces of what people should be cooking at, and an understanding of professionalism that was great. I didn't ever think that I'd ever cook one for myself. Like I was a little kid,
must be the moment, though,
a kid from an estate in Gloucester, and you go, okay, well, I learned to cook and I do quite well. And then I moved up into London in my early 20s, 21, and you start going, okay, well, into those kitchens. And then when the opportunities come in later life to have a go at being a head chef in a Michelin-star space, or, you know, that's where you thought, okay, maybe I could do this. I have got the levels, I have got the standards. But it was also about, I mean, I was so lucky that as an 18-year-old, I found an industry that I absolutely loved. Yeah. You walk into a kitchen, it's exciting, it's buzzy, it's fun.
Did you enjoy the stress of it all?
Oh, yeah, but it's not just that. It's the downtime of it. It's full of naughty people just, you know, getting drunk and having a great time after work and partying in staff houses and being, and I loved all of that. And it was mega, and it's a great industry to be in. And people talk about the social life being rubbish in hospitality. It's not. It could be it's the opposite. It's the best,
especially
because you know the bars, you know the people, you know, you go everywhere and you get and it's great. It's mega.
It's like any job, though, isn't it, where you work with the people all the time. And actually, this is something we're going to touch on, because we both worked in kitchens when we were young. And again, like a lot of people do, probably try a pub job. Fuck Ollie, the chef. Anyway, I was going to say his name then. I'm not going to say his name. I worked in a pub that was a country pub, but really it was a restaurant.
Yeah.
And the chef was the owner.
Yeah.
And head chef, he was in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, was that pressure to work under him.
Yeah.
He lived upstairs, drunk way too much.
Yeah.
Right. And I don't care. I'd send him to his face, and his face shows it, if I'm honest, as well. Because I think I wanted to touch on that one, I think the industry is tough to work in. Even in our small jobs we did, right? You felt the same. It's like the stress of it.
Well, I wanted to be a chef when I was a teenager until I started working in kitchens. I was like, I don't have the mentality for that. Yeah. I did love it at the time, but the stress and like, obviously it's different if you have the passion as well for it. But mine was snapped out of me quite quick. I was like,
couldn't take the heat though, innit?
Couldn't do it now.
You've got to enjoy the adrenaline buzz of it. You've got to enjoy the excitement of it, not just the creativity, because it's not just about the cooking, it's about the energy, the atmosphere, what goes on. You'll find in kitchens there's so many people that are neurodivergent, whether it's autism, whether it's ADHD, whether something that is like because they can click into that, because an ADHD brain in the kitchen where everybody else will go into it and go, oh, this is quite, it feels really chaotic and noisy and whatever, but you can control, you understand what's going on, and you find calmness in the noise and you can find a path through it all. So you have to be able to enjoy those environments and that buzz that you get. If you think you've got 2 sessions, lunch and dinner, that you've got to be ready for, that adrenaline fuel, and then there's the come down afterwards whilst you're being pushed by a head chef that's saying, hurry up, Josh, get that done. You're like, oh my God. Like, by the end of it, you then go, okay, I need a beer now or something.
Something to breathe,
yeah, exactly.
I can't peel any more spuds, like, just can't.
That's all I do,
that's all you do. He does that anyway.
That's the Irish way,
fucking potatoes, but it is true though. But you going back on the neurodivergent side there, because obviously that's something we really want to promote on here as well. Obviously, I'm fucked in the head with Tourette's and FND, and I'm dyslexic, and probably I've never been diagnosed with ADHD, but for anyone that does know me, it's definitely a big part of my life, and you're definitely autistic and spastic. No, you've definitely got some of the tisms as well, right?
I've got something going on there.
But this is why I think we get on, because sometimes we're not always in the right headspace each other, but we do understand when we're not and we are.
When to leave it.
When to like actually. That's a big thing about friendships. So I think you need to understand that. But my question was within the not the barbering, the cook, chefing, and even the industry in general. Is it fit for neurodivergence in there as well? Like,
oh my God, it's the best space, because kitchens are also so eclectic and embracing, and it doesn't matter on race, religion, sexuality, it doesn't matter on education, economic background. You come in there to work hard, you enjoy food, and you want to be a part of something. If you're willing to work hard and do stuff and be a part of a team, then it is the most embracing. It's one of the most exciting and brilliant industries to be in, that is super, I think, culturally rich, but it is full of people that don't necessarily fit and tick a box that would work in an office. You know, people that those office spaces, places where people sit still in front of a screen.
Yeah,
it is. You know, it's actually, you know, there's a lot of people whose lives don't fit those. But actually, kitchens, coffee shops, those sort of space, barbers.
I reckon now more than ever we're seeing
using your hands. They all fit. And the kitchens are full of those sort of people. That don't always,
the misfits sometimes. If I'm being honest,
I mean, this is it. These are the people that don't always fit into everyday style of
from
life.
the head chef to the KP, I think,
all the way down. Yeah, where they all get on, and whether after work they'll all get out. They'll all go out on the piss. They'll all go out really late at night. They'll all do.
Everyone's included then.
Everyone's included in it, and they're the sort of people that quite often sometimes can lead to the darker side. They can lead to. They can lead to. Issues regarding addiction issues, whether it's through alcohol or drugs. It does lead to sleeping issues. It leads to problems at mixing with in normal society in a way that conforming that everybody else does.
It's not just night work, is it? Like night shifts, that is a complete, you almost become nocturnal, but you're doing the unsociable hours.
Yeah, but you're also doing work that a lot of people will find absolutely terrifying that they don't want to be a part of. So it's full of quite often misfits, but in a really nice way.
I don't mean that badly. I know what you're saying.
I describe it like a pirate ship. If you think like a pirate ship, it's full of all these like different walks of society, loads of naughty people.
Graft.
Exactly. All put on a boat, but that boat works efficiently. It does it really well, and actually it robs loads of stuff, and it does the job. It's just full of like lunatics, and that's kind of like the kitchens that in many restaurants.
Yeah, of course.
If you had any advice then for, say, someone who was neurodivergent, who didn't know how to get into chefing, what would be the best way for someone to go about entering into that then?
Eat somewhere that you think you might want to eat, and you might want to learn how to do it. Knock on the back door, because everybody needs chefs, and even if they don't need chefs and they're fully staffed, someone knocking on the door and going, "Yeah, I've got a CV. Can I come and work a shift for you on a Friday or a Saturday night for nothing?" And straight away you're like, "Well, this person's amazing.
Shows something."
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, of course you can. Come on in. And before you know it, we had a young chef when we first started, a guy called Ollie, who turned up. He used to be working at Waitrose, probing the sausages in the cafe to make sure that they got to 85 degrees.
I've seen those weirdos.
And he turned
Poor old Ollie.
Probing the sausages. I mean, you're fucking lining me up, Tom.
Yeah.
I'll probe your sausage.
So bad. Sorry.
No, you're fine, mate. You're absolutely fine.
He turned up on a Friday night to do a little shit. He said, "Can I come and do a night for nothing?" And we were like, yeah, come in. Did a night for nothing. Loved it. He had to be back at work the next day. He turned back up on the Saturday morning. I was like, "What are you doing back? You're supposed to be at John Lewis." I go, "I'm not going in today. I just thought I'd come back here." I said, "Well, okay, but what's about work?" He goes, "I just want to do the day here." I was like, "Okay." Then he came back Monday, and I was like, "Yeah, but you can't." He goes, "Yeah, but I want to work here." I was like, "Yeah, but we haven't got any jobs for you." Then he came back again Tuesday, Wednesday. By Friday, I went, "Oh, fuck it, I may as well just pay him, then you're here." And then he stayed with us for over 10 years.
Sounds like a stray cat.
Being sous chef. He went on. It was amazing, and just because he wanted to do it. So anybody who wants to get in it, go find the space, work there, and you just do it.
Put your head down and go for it.
And it sounds like that would work in any industry, because I think nowadays you're seeing. We actually looked for a bit of staff in a coffee shop next door, and I hate to say it, but if a mum comes in asking on the behalf of a young person, you're already like, well, if you can't ask to give your CV, it's probably not going to work out, because you can't present yourself. And I think we've seen it even in barbering. I've got a guy who's been with me 2 months. He just turned up and said, "I want to fucking do this," and he hadn't even been to college yet.
Yeah.
And we sorted him out going to college, and he's really smashing it, Jim. Like he's really doing well, and all of our barbers doing well, but Jim, because he was a client.
Yeah.
And like a bit like you said then. Go into a restaurant, eat something. If you like it, then go around and back on the door. It's exactly what he did in here. He was a client, and he won't mind me saying he's dealt with addiction. He was very upfront with that as well. And I think that made me realise actually that because he's had his addictions. I'm like, do you know what? That's absolutely fine as long as I'm aware and we can work that together. He doesn't really need my help, but it's just as long as I know, and if you ever need my support. But again, the kind of brings me on to another question is like, well, you understand you now don't drink. Yeah, was that an executive decision?
Oh yeah, no.
Was that addiction, or was that because?
No, big issue, big alcohol problem. So I was drinking, I don't know, 12, 14 pints of strong lager every night, and half a bottle of gin probably. And that was like a standard. That was a standard day. It was like every day, every single day. But it's funny because I look at it and it's an addiction issue and it's a problem, and I won't have zero alcohol beer. I did it once where I drank one bottle of like a Beck's Blue, which had been about 8 years ago.
Yeah, we spoke about that, didn't we?
I had a bottle of Beck's Blue, and that was it. I drank 8 of them in 20 minutes. I was on it again, and it was not even out. It was just the sensory, the thing, like the little
almost the placebo
demon in there.
It.
It wakes up and it just becomes. You go, so I can't. I haven't drunk now for nearly. It'll be 13 years this year, and you just go, well, that's
congratulations, by the way. That's fucking incredible.
Honestly, it's not something you just go. It's just a thing that you've had to go with that. And sometimes I think, I wish I could have something, but I don't miss it at all.
Yeah.
And I don't regret it for a minute, because without that drive to get to 2 stars and build that business, which was massive, where you were working 18-hour days, 7 days a week, that release in between that gap of 6 hours where I drink that amount, go to bed and get up and do it again. If I didn't have that release, I wouldn't have had that drive.
Yeah.
Without that drive, you wouldn't have been able to take the business. No, I'm not saying that that's how to make your business work, and that's how to do it. But it worked for me, right? That was my escape route. That was my thing. And then it got to the point where I went, I have to change. I've got to do it. I was approaching my 40th birthday, and I went, that's it, I'm done. I have to stop. Otherwise I'm going to die.
You have to find something.
So then I stopped.
Is that what? Did you find a new vice? Like, was that when the weight loss started, all that kind of stuff? Did you trigger anything?
I go to the gym a lot now. So I started off by swimming. So I swam. I got to the point where I was swimming like a mile a day. And I would do that. Yeah, and I was doing front crawl. So and I went.
He looks like a breast man. I keep looking at Ryan. Sorry, I know he's an arse man. Sorry, Ryan.
And then as the media world started changing and I was doing more, I wasn't able to go. That not everywhere where you film with a hotel would have a swimming pool, but they'd have gyms. So I started doing. So I like lifting. I like doing the numbers. I like attacking numbers. And so I find doing that's kind of my escape route now. Going to the gym, I'll go 6 times a week. So
it's a good thing to have done it.
It's a good thing to do. Like that. I mean, it's not bad. Yeah, that's kind of where I've swapped it. It's nowhere near as much fun or much chaos.
100%.
And it definitely won't get in the Daily Mail as a story.
I was going to say,
But
and it doesn't give you a headache the next day. Well, headaches, put it lightly, as well.
Yeah.
Well, we both got addiction in our family. Like my mum's an alcoholic and she's sober now, and she did really well. But I think it isn't. I guarantee as well, even in your 13 years, there's been points where you could be 5 years in, and then you just have a really tough day, and it's not even like you think you're going to have a drop. But you could just feel like, today would be the day. Yeah. And you push through. And I just think a lot of people think, even after 10 years plus, that, he doesn't have to ever worry about it again. Do you feel like do you have to think about it a lot or not really?
No, I don't have to think about it a lot anymore.
You're past that now.
But no, I am past it. Although there is, I don't know, there might be one day every year where I've gone, or like my wife's got a glass of red wine or something, and you just go, fucking hell, that smells lovely.
Yeah.
And you just have you go, and then you just remember. It just catches you by surprise. But I'm now at that point where like it's not.
Oh, fair play. No, good. Well, that's great.
That's also because I'm older. I'm not in the party life. I'm not.
Right. But you're in the pub and restaurant industry, though.
But
was that difficult?
I work it actually, and that's where a lot of people said that I think it would have been a lot harder.
Yeah.
But actually, it became quite easy because that was a point where I just looked at all the bottles and the beer, and I was just like, well, I thought, I'm going to see myself as some sort. I'm like a drug pusher. I'm a seller here. And that's exactly how I saw it. I thought, well,
Pablo Escobar.
Yeah, exactly.
That's fucking good. Even I was impressed with myself. I'm stupid, but my brain is fucking quick.
What, we should open a bar.
Pablo Escobar.
Yeah. Loads of salt on the table. Salt on a straw.
I tell you what, I am in.
This is
exclusive. Yeah.
But it's kind of, I look at it and I go, I don't regret a minute of it. I've thoroughly enjoyed my time doing it.
You've done it now.
I've got some fucking amazing stories, and you just go, this was brilliant times. But I don't regret it, and I wouldn't recommend it for anybody else. But it's easier now because I'm 50 plus years old, and I'm not in my 30s where you still want to go out on a Friday and a Saturday night. You still want to do
not Josh.
You don't know me. No, I do, and I think it is a release. I'll be honest with you. Like I don't have a problem with alcohol, but it is weird though. Fucking 6, 7 o'clock on a Friday night, and I know you're the same. Fucking gagging for a pint.
Yeah.
But I don't rely on it, but it is a nice release.
Yeah.
Drink as much though.
They're so much more conscious.
Yeah,
you know,
like all the lads, the young lads, they're all gym obsessed. Like it's not like
they wasn't like that when we were
even
young.
the uni lads. No one drinks now. It's like which probably is another factor that's affected pubs. To be fair, actually, is that all these like
another one of those factors and another point. But you're right. Yeah, the younger generation. So kitchen is full of young lads that normally would be, you know, when I was their age, it would be all about the party time afterwards. But this lot, I mean, they're
not interested now.
Nah,
like
nowhere near as interested.
You get raving, that's a big thing. They all like going out, do whatever they do at the raves. But you talk to young lads, no one goes to the pub, which I know obviously that's talked about a lot.
That's why there's expensive bottles of water in those places, isn't it?
Yeah.
We're not ravers. I have no idea, but that's what I hear. The water's really expensive, but nothing else.
Not a pub man,
you know.
But I was going to say as well, I was watching one of your shows and you were comparing chefing to a trade. And I was wondering, I think that's quite an interesting take. But if you were chefing, do you think you would have got into a different trade?
Yeah, definitely.
That would have been your route.
I think about it quite a lot. And I'd have loved to, either trade or I'd have loved to have been on the fishing boats, on the trawlers. I've been quite lucky. I've done quite a few TV things, filming, where you've been on boats. I'm always quite good with the seasickness thing. It's not been a problem. Like proper North Sea stuff. And the idea of being out a boat for 3 or 4 days, like it is the idea. And then you're working hard, you're grafting. It's in an environment that nobody else recognises or is a little bit intimidated by.
His head's a beacon.
But actually, it's one of those spaces that I'd love.
I love the ocean too, to be fair.
So I think it would have been something like that. It would have been a manual labour style job. But cooking is, to me, like a trade. I mean, and I'm sure hairdressing is the same.
That's why I compared it to. I heard you say
it as a trade. I mean,
you can have creativity.
Again, hairdressing and barbering separate now to hairdressing. I think it was maybe a bit more one, but obviously separate. But definitely is. I
just never heard someone. I was watching your show. I just never heard someone put it that way. More, it's like a trade where it's like obviously you're working your way through it.
You learn flavour profiles, building blocks of understanding how to create a dish. You learn about the ingredients. You learn about the processes of cooking it and putting it all together onto a plate that creates one thing. And now then you can take those building blocks, and there are chefs that can go and be creative. I'm sure there's barbers that suddenly take the understanding of the basic fundamentals of the craftsmanship and then turn it into something else. But I like to go with the craftsmanship. That's it. That's where I understand, and I'll just do that really well. And I'm not artistic in that kind of like creativity way. Maybe something a little bit more just solid is something that I like doing the way that I do.
Do you instill that kind of into your chefs too then? Like, is that like how you kind of keep the star as well? Because are you there chefing as well still, or do you have more?
Well, I live in Marlow, so I try to be there. I was there today. I try to be there 2 or 3 times a week. I try like I'll get into all the spaces at least once every week and try and be into that point of being in control. So it's also good for team and team. You've got teams of people. They like to see you. They like to know that you're there and you're a part of it. And so all of those things, building teams and building infrastructure. How many people have you got working in your?
I mean, it's
we got 3 over. Well, us 3 over there.
So basically, overall, it's about 5
well,
or
5
6.
with you in it.
6 with Callum as well.
So Callum, 6 of you. But they need to know that you're a part of it. You're a part of leading.
I have to convince them.
That you're part of it.
Sometimes I come over. Again, I'm not even taking a piss. Last year I was off for so long that I sometimes felt guilty going in because I'm like, well, I've been off and the boys have really. I was off work for like 4 or 5 months last year, and the boys. I had to shut this down because I couldn't work, and unfortunately, a couple of lads left me. It was fine. It is what it is. But the boys were grafting.
We tried to keep it open, didn't we? It just wasn't possible.
We couldn't make it work. We had to make an executive decision. It was still one of the hardest things I've had to deal with, which was my health was terrible, my legs weren't working, and I had to shut this down. But then obviously the boys were working in my other shop, and they were keeping that going, and that was basically paying the bills and everything else. So after that, I did struggle to kind of go back in as the boss because I was like, well, I haven't been working. And I that was my own struggle, and they didn't necessarily see that. But I'll tell you something. Sorry, you didn't see the hand signal, you wanker. But I think at the end of the day, I think it's really hard to sometimes be that you want to try and inspire, encourage, and all that stuff, but you're still dealing with your own shit. And that's why I think as I hate saying the boss all the time, but like as the owner of the business, that is your job to do that. But you also try to do your own job at the same time, which is working in the business and cutting hair. I know you have all of this going on as well with all your publicity and adverts and TV. It's not anywhere near the same as you, but I get it because I don't really get paid for very much necessarily for what I'm doing, but I'm relying on a bit of the social media stuff on the side. So again, not the same, but a different level. But I get that.
It helps provide growth and funding of a business and trying to keep it moving. And it all goes hand in hand. It's all about that. singular, one-dimensional businesses, they're the hardest ones to make work now in any point. And then whether it's a retail space, whether it's a coffee shop, whether it's a restaurant, whether it's a garage, if that's solely what you do, you need to be able to have a bit more fluidity to it. You need to be able to have different branches that you can try and move into and be creative with it and understand it, because one singular form of income into a space makes your business quite vulnerable, particularly in this day and age. So doing it that way and doing it the right way. Ownership, owner guilt is also something really bad. That if you are off for a day, you've been off for 3 or 4 months trying to sort your health out, whereas all your team would have been completely behind you and doing everything to make sure that you're okay. You'd have still felt really bad that they're doing.
I almost didn't want to go and see them because I felt like that, and I know that isn't how they felt, but I felt like they were like, "Oh, look at him fucking swanning like he runs the place."
Exactly what we were thinking.
I know you fucking were. But also that's what I love, that they will be like that, because actually I don't want the fucking sympathy or anything like that. I actually do want them to be a bit of a ball buster with me, and you are naturally anyway. But I think as well, like it is just tough at times, and I think you do, like you said, carry that guilt. It's difficult.
It's just one of those things. It's very hard to take that ownership. But then you have to remember that they've carried it going because you've inspired them to do it in the first place. And then it also means that you've employed good people with good ethics and the right heart and the right soul, but will also take the piss out of you.
Well, I think 100%.
Someone's got it.
And it goes straight back. But again, I think the thing that ties us up with all of our sort of the line of work we're in is people, right?
Exactly.
And team, but not only teams, but we're serving. We're serving people as well, right? So what I try and instill into my barbers... fucking smack my ass. Is I try and instill it into my barbers that actually doesn't. You're right, can I touch you? You've got lovely earlobes, by the way. We look at ears all day long. They're the lobes I like.
Are they?
They really, meaty lobes, meaty lobes. I do. We look at earlobes all the time. Obviously, cutting people's head, and I might do a little segment on rating lobes at some point.
Oh, yeah.
Can you start with that?
Let's take a picture.
Yeah, take a picture. We got to get a rating on the lobe.
BFG.
BFG.
What's B? Oh shit. Yes, sorry. Yeah.
You love that though.
I tell you what though, he was good in those Christmas adverts.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Right, let's get back to the matter at hand.
I want to know what you're going to rate my lobes.
Oh, I'd give that a very high 9 and 9.5.
Fucking hell.
That's a good lobe.
They never stop growing.
Yeah. No, that's what's worrying.
Truth be told,
What was there was a point there I was going to make that I think would have been lovely to bring up.
I think you.
I was talking about people. That was what we were talking about. Sorry. But I tell the barbers all the time that, like, doesn't matter who comes through the door, every person, again, in our industry, it's probably the same in yours, where, like, a lot of barbers want to become like a celebrity barber, cut really amazing people, and that's great. If you want to do that, no problem with that. I don't see it like that. I've had opportunities to do that, and it's great. But I see it as the everyday man pays my bills. Not just men, we do everyone, but like the everyday person pays our bills. Yeah. And that's what's important, because it doesn't matter if they're 6, 60 or 96. It's like, and that's another thing in our industry. I don't think many people look after the kids. And I see the fact that actually, if we look after, don't touch the kids. If we look after the kids now, that's a long-term customer. And a possible lifetime if we keep fucking going. And that, I love that, seeing it from someone from a young age, and you get to know them in a way that actually most other things on the high street you don't. And you get to know someone and they know you, and you build that relationship, and then by the time, you got a 5-year-old that goes up to 15, and then you might cut their dad's hair and you might cut their siblings' hair. I love that aspect. And we do see that now. We're getting 6 years in, and we can see that we've, like, you do a whole family. You do
lots of whole families.
But that's beautiful, and that's what I'm just trying to get at.
Correct.
People is our industry.
Yeah.
Whether it's cutting hair or making food.
But it's a service industry. That when people come through the door here, it's the same as a pub or a restaurant. You have to say hello to them, you have to look after them, you have to seat them, you have to you go through the process of the system exactly the same as we would putting somebody to a table at a restaurant and then delivering something to them that they hopefully love. They think it's so good that they give you a tip at the
service end. Is 50. I think service and product is 50-50.
100%.
Because again, you do beautiful food, we do beautiful haircuts. But if we can't get them in the door with the lovely attitude and service we give them, doesn't fucking matter at the end of the day.
I'm sure you've been to restaurants as well before where you've had great food, but the service was shit. You never go.
Yeah, never go back. Yeah,
and you go, well, okay. But if you go to somewhere where the service was mega and everything, the food was a bit shit, and they said at the end of the night, "Oh, I'm really sorry," and you went, "No worries, no worries." It was you come out, you'd still come out going, "Actually, that was a great night, and the waiter was brilliant, and this was great, and then they gave us an ice cream because they fucked that up."
Yeah.
You go back again.
That's why I miss Little Chef.
Yeah.
So, run by dwarfs.
Yeah.
Oh. So we were talking about it earlier, weren't we? Not dwarves, Little Chef. I do miss Little Chef though, don't you?
I tell you what, a roadside cafe like that is pretty cool. I remember as a kid they were the first services.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, actually, one meal now that does bring you back to your childhood.
Yeah.
If you have it anytime.
Oh, it's fish and chips. Like
fish and chips.
Time. Yeah, because fish and chips is always that thing. I think it's kind of like British nostalgia. And you grow up, like everyone had a fish and chip shop on the estate. Yeah. Like if you grew up on the estate, there was always a fish and chip shop on the estate. Or you'd have the chippy van that would drive around and do that. So it's something that you recognise, I think, as a kid, a nostalgic point.
And I think that is so British, isn't it? It's like quintessentially.
It is. And now you can do it. So we do it super top end, like where it's amazing dayboat fish, it's brill or turbot or something mega. And it's just putting an amazing batter. Just because it's deep fried doesn't mean it's cheap. Whereas cheap fish and chips, I mean, the product is cheaper, but actually what you're still getting is a nostalgic value to it. And then when it becomes expensive, it's because the product is different.
Yeah.
And actually, people undervalue fish so much. And when you think day boats go out and they go out no matter what the weather is.
They're trawling all the time.
Like the loss of life in fish, like people are risking lives to get cod. You know what I mean? People moan, and you're like, hold on a minute, like stop moaning about it. Like it's amazing. Like
it's hard work on into that fish.
It's unbelievable.
The cows don't fight back, do they?
No.
Your mind works mental. Do you know that?
I tell you, imagine being in it. But okay, I'm going to throw it on you, Queen. I mean, what's your most nostalgic childhood meal as an Irishman?
Oh,
you tinker, soldier spy.
It's either Granny's Irish stew, like proper Guinness stew. I don't even just put Guinness in it, to be honest, but a stew. Or Mum used to make like this. We called it Bug's Life pasta. It was just like spinach and pine nuts and pasta. It was great, man. My brother still makes it. I fucking love that stuff. Yeah, but Mum's vegetarian, Dad's vegetarian, so we just grew up in a vegetarian household. So I'd go to Granny to get a bit of meat. And that was it. So it was like,
I forget you were a veggie from the moment you came out.
Well, Mum would make a bit of meat, but we grew up mainly vegetarian. Yeah,
bit of minge.
Yeah, bit.
Sorry. I hate that word as well.
My mummy's going to see that now.
sorry, Barbara. I don't mean it. She's lovely. Actually, talking of mothers, should we move on to that section?
Yes. We do have one little segment.
Yes.
Because, our mothers actually, they love you for years.
Which I'm sure you're not used to that.
No, I like that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So we do have a question, actually.
Yeah, from your mums.
From our mums.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
So what did Mum say?
We didn't steal it from Ramesh Ranganathan.
Where is it?
Not much. Actually, we didn't. Actually, that's just come into my own brain.
Yeah, it is actually quite a simple question, Bear. But my mum said, if you're at home and you want something quick to eat, what are you making?
We either do two things. We do an omelette in our house, which is quite good because we get no matter, I'm not there every night or very often, and then at the weekend you get there and my little man's hungry. There's stuff that's in the fridge, so you can do like a Spanish style like omelette where you can put lots of bits of leftovers and make it super tasty. Put the eggs and bacon in the oven, so a Spanish style omelette like that, or cheese on toast.
Cheese on toast is always great, isn't it?
But it's got to have Liam Perrins on it.
100%.
That's the stuff.
So are you saying what's the sauce in general, or are you saying Liam Perrins? It has to be.
Well, no, Liam Perrins. Is there any other?
Yeah.
I mean, there's Henderson's relish. It's similar, but it hasn't got anchovies in it. But Liam Perrins is like the best.
That's the one.
Yeah, Liam Perrins
is the one.
I'm sure she'd be happy to know that.
Strong, good cheddar as well.
Well,
and it's got to be cooked like slower under the grill, not too fast, so that actually caramelizes and almost goes like really salty, crispy. That's the bit that you want. And you've got to leave it for about 3 or 4 minutes before you eat it, so that it hardens up just a little bit, so it's got texture.
I'll give that a go.
That is the top tip from the sponsor.
Don't take too early. Take it out of the grill and eat it. You've got to leave it.
Let your cheese dry.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that sounds wrong as well. There is another little bit that your mammy said.
There is. It's only because it splits our... It's me, my brother, my mum and dad, and 50-50. Me and my dad hate aubergines.
Yeah.
My brother and
He said aubergines.
Aubergine.
Yeah. Sorry.
Mum just wants to know...
Translation.
Yeah. It's needed, isn't it? Yeah.
We just
want to know, should they be thrown away, or what would you do with an aubergine to get people to like it?
Okay, so if you're pan frying it or slicing it, as a vegetable like that,
Yeah.
it's not great, and I can see why people don't like it because it's just a bit soft and a bit.
It's a slug.
But
isn't it?
actually, actually, if you bake them whole or put them into a barbecue and burn the skins whilst they're like that, and cook them till they're really soft, and you can actually blacken them on the outside, then bake them through the oven, and then scoop all the middle out.
Oh yeah.
That then becomes really smoky and delicious. And
That's
you
what
chop
A bit
that.
like the baba ganoush.
Ganoush, yeah, exactly. You chop that up and you put parsley and lemon and cream and olive oil, and all of a sudden that's when it becomes lovely. It's got deep flavour. That's delicious.
Lovely.
But I get it. Like slices of aubergine.
Not the way to go.
Nah.
I think I actually don't mind like that kind of maybe either deep fried or breaded or something like that with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I appreciate what you're. Yeah.
Well,
that's lovely.
I'll try and get on board with aubergines now.
Did you see I did quite a good politician style question there and said
I was going to say
and shit at the same time.
But you know how to cook it properly, though, yeah.
100%.
Aubergines are great and shit.
Yeah, great and shit at the same time.
I'll ask my mum's question, Tracy.
Yeah.
Can you say hello to Tracy?
Yeah, hello,
Fucking
Tracy.
Daft bitch. She's lovely. Sorry, mum. She won't watch this anyway. No, she loves it. The start of the message was say hello to Tom. Really lovely to meet you. No, she's not here. lovely to meet you, but lovely to hear we're doing this. Her question was with respect to like neurodiversity, can you support children only wanting to eat beige food? Like I suppose she means like
but literally. So somebody said something to me the other day, and it was like a grown-up saying, "Listen, if you want healthy food, is colourful. If you want to eat colourful food, it's the greens and it's the reds and it's the whites and if you think of every bit of food that's pretty much unhealthy, it is beige and brown.
Yeah.
But I think I kind of understand where kids go, where they eat pasta. Is that like kids' taste buds change? They do develop. Like if you put too much at them too soon, they're not going to eat it.
And they will eat it for a bit and then suddenly don't or whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they go, no, I don't like that. And then they'll go through phases of going to school where somebody else will go, oh, no, I'm not eating that. And they'll go, yeah, no, I'm not eating that either. Like
they all agree.
They all agree. So there is a case of kids as they grow up, most kids. But if you are eating salads around you, vegetables, and if you're eating like normal, just a standard like fresh food that you're cooking around you, kids will see that is the way to go. I'm for a longer game of development. I think listen, it would be lovely. I have a 10-year-old son, and I'm sure there's lots of parents out there who say, oh yeah, their kids are eating this and they're having broccoli and they're having all the salad and they're doing all that, and you think, that's got to be fucking bullshit.
Yeah,
that's got to be. Like, it has to be.
There has to be a bit of
because him and his mates and the majority of them are not eating fucking that, and all of us are like grown-up parents that are around that are going, actually, they're all eating normally.
Yeah,
like there's no way that they're and as much as you try, so there might be 2 or 3 kids in a class of 30 that are just going, oh yeah, what different type of salad leaf is that? But the majority of them, I don't think so. I think it's a case of you have to educate them, but I think it's a slower burn than a quicker solving.
I think that's a great answer, the way you've gone about it. And I've just realised why my mum might have asked that, because when I was a kid, I was severely intolerant to a lot of foods. Not allergic, intolerant. It was a stomach sort of issue. But I'm talking from the age of 6 up until 11, strict diet.
Right.
And this was pre the free from aisle in Tesco's or whatever, M&S. But pre all that, so God bless my mum living in North London. Like she made me pack lunches every day, and sometimes it would have smoked salmon in it because I wasn't getting the protein because I couldn't eat wheat, dairy, yeast, sugar, gluten, MSG, and it was in a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And again, it wasn't just as easy as like, whack in some chicken nuggets because I couldn't have the breaded bit on the side. There was so many aspects, and it just made me think about it. That's why she asked. And that's nice that she asked that. Thank you, Mum. But yeah, I remember being at school and like, they give out sweets for birthdays and I couldn't have that. So it was always a ready sort of packet of crisps. And I think that gives you almost like almost like a complex. So when I got a little bit older, I went like rebelled. So like through my early like pre-teen teenage years, I was just eating shit.
Yeah.
Like eating sweets before school because I like binged, and I think it gave me a little bit of an unhealthy understanding. But as I've got older, because I did eat quite well, because of what my mum did, I think I now appreciate food in a different way.
I think as kids, you learn the habits of your parents, and you learn, well, okay, actually, this is good, and it doesn't matter what you're thinking you're doing now. You do realise that long term. Also, all the information is out there now.
Yeah.
And we talked about it a bit ago about kids not drinking as much or not doing the part. The information is out there about nutrition and stuff. So people are beginning to learn. They do know what's right and wrong. There is a thing, taking people also have to take a sense of personal responsibility, but you can't inflict that onto kids straight away. They have to grow and they have to learn, but the information is there, and learning from the parents around you.
And also, it is fine for them to have a fucking nuggets and chips and pizza day every so often, isn't it? Especially with hardworking parents who haven't always got the time to prepare a whole meal or whatever.
But this is the thing, there's so much drops into the idea of food snobbery, and I find that sometimes I struggle with that juxtaposition of the fact that we, have a 2 Michelin-star space that costs an arm and a leg to go and eat at, but then at the same point, my background comes from, we talked about the thing with Marcus Rashford. It's about trying to, if somebody is using budget aisle, cheap as you can get chicken, like food snobbery is a big thing. So you could buy, if you're a single parent that lives in a high-rise flat in Birmingham and you've got 2 kids, but you are roasting a chicken and doing some carrots and some potatoes, but the chicken is one of the really dirt cheap £2 whole chickens.
Pumped stuff.
Don't question where the chicken's coming from.
Just eat it.
That's all you can afford. You are cooking a proper piece of protein. You're doing vegetables. You're doing a proper good job there. You're not going with the easy option of a 99p burger from McDonald's.
You've
gone with actually.
And you tried, so
you tried. For the similar sort of money, you're actually cooking a
cheap products, but done well.
So I always go with food snobbery drops into you buy the best produce that you can afford. That's it. Standard. Now don't judge anybody else from it. Now listen, if you're in a position where you can afford a £15 chicken that's got higher welfare and has been looked after properly, but you're still buying a £2.50 one, that's where you
should be looking into it more then.
Questions,
fair enough.
Oh, I like that. I like that a lot. We should have actually told you this before that we were going to ask you, but we have got a segment here which we've been doing quite a lot as well, where we ask people for their embarrassing stories. I don't know if anything comes to mind. We'll let you think about it for a minute if you want, but we've been doing it again with some of our barbers and some of our guests that come on, and it just seems to be well received. It's not even about you embarrassing yourself, but I just think it sometimes can be just a story that
you look back
we've probably all fucking done it.
Yeah.
Okay. And it doesn't have to be like shitting yourself, because that's a very common one.
Has been on this,
Yeah, honestly has been. I mean, I could do a whole podcast just on that.
I don't think I'd be embarrassed.
Absolutely.
It's just standard.
But if you've got one off the bat, we'll go for it. If not, we can think about another question and go for it.
Okay,
no problem.
It depends on how. Yeah, I'm just trying to think.
No, of course, I know that's a different one. What was something? Did you want to?
I think. Well, I got a mate. He's also a chef, and he was just wondering if you got any horror stories from back in the day. Because we obviously,
there's so many different points of being in kitchens that you remember, and there's such an environment and spaces that are so sometimes can be so extreme and so like that you think, oh my god, that it just becomes normality, and you think this is just a normal thing. I used to work in a basement kitchen where there would be a scallop dish on that would be, I don't know, it was 25 quid as a starter, and it was years and years ago that I was working in this basement kitchen, but by 11:30 we was short staffed and people would have to leave to get their last train, and someone coming in and still ordering this dish at 11:30 at night. And the juxtaposition of it is that it's this big posh restaurant, but we ain't got enough chefs. So the guy that's cooking it is like, it's a kitchen porter, some guy that
So then it's
it's just like they're paying for this. Some guy who's not knowing what doing. I put the scallop in the pan. He's looking at me, can't speak English, don't know what he's doing. It's just like and you're putting this dish together, and So there's all sorts of things like that that you look back on and you think, my God, these are moments of there's so many different stories, some of which
probably shouldn't be said.
Probably not repeatable. But it is one of those industries that, if you're in, there's enough stories.
If you ask someone, you'll find something out.
There's enough stories. There's lots of
that.
And like I'm sure you're
we've got a few from Well, he's had a few for sure, but he was just wondering because he's doing it now and he loves it, and I'm sure he says to say hello as well because he's worked in a couple of good kitchens, to be fair. But no,
where's he working?
He was in a Michelin-starred restaurant in London for a while. I can't remember the name, but he's going to get angry at me now. But now he's actually in Barbados doing like private cooking, so he's got the life at the moment. He's got a good life now. He's living life to the max, mate. He looks like he's having a great crack. So.
But that's obviously, again, it's similar in the industries that you can just travel and do these jobs, and that's the beautiful thing of it. Where would you be if you could be anywhere in the world to cook? Or are you in the right place?
Yeah, I'm in the right place. I love the UK. I love British food. I love British farming. We're very lucky here because we have 4 quite defined seasons. And those seasons, the way that they change and the way that they move, they're exciting as a chef. When spring comes and the asparagus coming through, it's almost done now, which is magical. And we'll start moving through into the summer bits where you get peas and broad beans and summer fruits. And then you move on to the root vegetables and into autumn and winter. And it becomes exciting as a chef. There's always constantly moving. Barbados, beautiful, but it's warm and it's either rainy or not rainy.
Yeah.
So in terms of produce, it's fairly similar. Yeah. You go over into Asia, the Asian cuisine, I think, is absolutely delicious.
Probably my favourite.
Exciting. However, like you're in Thailand, there is a flavour profile that's the same all year round.
Yeah.
Because that's where it can't change. So it doesn't. So whilst that's an exciting idea to be in Barbados, and he might love it for a year or two, maybe even
eventually
a bit more,
you lose the.
Eventually you'll go, actually, I quite fancy cookies in Swedes and turnips.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
But the seasonal aspect is that is obviously exciting. Like you said, when you know what's coming, and I think even when we eat somewhere, I do like to see a menu change on depending on what's readily available.
And the best restaurants,
it's just fucking boring.
I mean, it is what makes going out exciting. Why you would go back to another restaurant and why you would go back there, particularly if it's one that's cooking fresh food and produce that you really enjoy, and chefs and places that you know and you like. Yeah, you would go back. Seasonality will make people move in to go and have stuff. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, amazing. Okay.
Maybe one of our last questions. I'm just wondering, from your point of view, if you're going into London, what is one restaurant? Say one restaurant that isn't crazy expensive that you can think that's where you should go, or somewhere
that isn't crazy expensive. I mean, there are so many brilliant places in the middle of London that we're so lucky. Whether it's, you have got those brilliant 3 Michelin-star spaces, and we've got some great even 1-star places that aren't too expensive. There's a great restaurant called Mountain, which is in Soho, which is
Callum
talks about Mountain,
actually.
It's brilliant, and it can be. I mean, it's quite it's expensive.
It's paying for quality too, isn't it?
But it's actually brilliant. It's really vibey. It's a great place. It's super comfortable. They've opened the team behind it have opened another one called Impala, which is cuisine inspired from Cairo, I think, Egyptian style cuisine, flatbreads and bits of, and it's brilliant and it's super exciting. Those sort of places, mega. Those are the kind of places that I go to, vibey, relaxed, no issues. Food will come.
It's all round though, isn't it? That's what you want. Yeah. It's not just the grub. It's the whole atmosphere.
The whole atmosphere.
Right? Chefs cooking on flames in front of you, chatting away. Yeah. Those are the sort of things. Those are the sort of places that I really like. Nice. There is a time and a place for super special restaurants.
Yeah.
If you want budget, there's a great French bistro called Josephine. There's one on the Fulham Road and one over in Marylebone, and you can eat like a budget lunch there for like 22 quid, or you can have, and it's mega. Like,
I've eaten nice, it's nice.
It's brilliant, isn't it? Like a really good, like old school like French cuisine, but done so well, super tasty.
But not like it's simple, but just fucking beautiful food.
Yeah, like if you were in it's based on the one in Fulham Road is based on a Lyonnaise brasserie, a Lyonnaise bistro. Yeah. So where you would go there and you have a slice of terrine or a bit of whatever. Yeah. Super tasty, super easy.
Just delicious. Like Café Rouge. Do you remember them as well? They're not around anymore.
No, they're not around anymore. No, it's like Café Rouge, but good.
Yeah, but good. Yeah, I like that.
Café Rouge, but good.
Well, I think we have got to kind of like think about wrapping up. So we did want to do a little rapid fire thing. Yeah. Should we do that?
Yeah. You got them there?
And then I'd love to get your about story if you can think of it. If it's not,
if not, it's all
Yeah.
If not, we'll get you to voice note it in.
Yeah.
All right. Should we do one after the other and you go? We'll do it quick.
Go for it. Go on.
All right. Shall I start? Favourite comfort food?
Well, cheese on toast.
I actually like it's very easy. Like cheese, grapes, and like cured meats. Is like that's the easy go-to if I get in late at night. No cooking.
Nice.
Tea or coffee?
Coffee every time. I mean, I love a builder's tea, but coffee
is the one.
I like. I'll do, I don't know, 12, 15 cups a day.
Easy. What
fucking hell.
Yeah. Wow.
Fair play to you.
Okay.
Still going.
Yeah.
So it's a bit like you, to be fair.
I'm talking about what my vice is now after
caffeine,
just rediscovered it. Yeah, that's what.
Yeah.
He's the same, to be fair.
Yeah. I am. 12, 15, I'd be on the floor.
I've seen you 7 or 8, though.
Yeah, 7, 8, but that's my maximum. No judgment, but just I'm judging.
There was one day we was filming in Italy, and we were filming Coffee Culture. There's a show that comes out on ITV. Tom Kerridge cooks Italy in July. And there was one day we was filming. It was about the coffee culture in this space, and I can't remember where we were. It might have been Naples or wherever it was. Anyway, and I did 22 coffees because we were filming it, and I just kept 22 coffees. Yeah, but I tell you what,
did you sleep that night?
I was phoning my PA back at work. We got so much. She was like, the managing director. I was phoning him. Then I was putting the phone down, phoning my PA. Then I was sending an email. But they were all in the same fucking room.
I'll be honest, Tom. Before you came, we just fucking did a line of espressos. Just pump. We don't have ADHD. We're just fucking pumping.
Honestly, sounds like
that's what it's about. Best pub snack.
Pork scratchings by a long way.
I know you were going to say that. Go on, sweetheart.
Favourite chef?
Marco Pierre White.
It's funny because that was the next question. Ramsay or Marco P.O.Y. That was always said.
Yeah, Marco, just because he was there before Gordon. Yeah. Gordon learnt off Marco. Yeah. There's Marco's cookbook. There's a White Heat cookbook that came out. It's nearly 30 years ago now. I was 18 actually, so that's 35 years ago. Wow. Came out, and it was one of those seminal moments in British cooking history because every cookbook before was about French chefs and long white aprons and polished shoes and tall hats. And then there was this scruffy guy smoking fags with a butcher's apron on, prepping stuff, working really hard with bags underneath his eyes. And all of a sudden you was like, this is the guy. And the photography in it was done by a fashion photographer called Bob Carlos Clark. Right. So we had all these black and white amazing pictures in it that were fucking mega, that captured this energy, and then beautiful food that Marco was cooking. So Marco was that moment. And in that, Gordon was one of his chef de parties, one of his young chefs. So Marco, then Gordon, although Gordon is a fucking genius. He is. It doesn't matter.
Do you mean food or his bit of business?
Everything. He's a superhuman.
Yeah.
If you know him, you meet him. He is not only is he just a brilliant chef, but he's so connected. And there's the caricature of Gordon, and then there's the businessman.
I feel like you saw that in his recent doc. I think you did. Yeah. I think they actually really did show that really well. That he doesn't stop.
No.
And then he gets that.
You mean the dog that he made on his own with his own production company was about Gordon? Yeah. But the reality.
But then again, the business sense.
Yeah. But
like we were saying that a little bit before. Like that he's capitalized on everything in the right way.
Yeah, and he does it in the right way. He's a brilliant human, and he's one of those guys that, if you don't know he's in the room, you can't see him. You know he's in the room. Yeah. He's got this
an aura about him,
and he is genuinely brilliant at what he does.
I mean, I thought about calling my shop the F word because of my Tourette's. I was like, well, fuck it, we might as well. I'm going to go down the Gordon Ramsay route, but not going to swear at people. But I didn't decide to do that. And
he'd have taken you to court and gone, fucking, that's my house. Yeah.
And he would have fucking won.
He would have smashed it.
And he's not even fucking got Tourette's, you know, good cunt.
That's good.
If you could put us in touch with him, we'll have words about it. One of my other questions was like your favourite exercise that you do.
I work in the gym all the way to lifting to do deadlift. So my deadlift, I love the deadlift. So I do everything in the week to try and get to the better deadlift or just slightly improve it. Yeah.
Okay.
And then probably the last one, to be fair. What's more stressful, Saturday night service or filming TV?
Ooh. I quite enjoy, but I enjoy the process of making television. It's not stressful. There's not live TV is quite stressful because you're thinking about that's where you get a bit of an edge to it. Making TV is nice because it's a process of making. I hate watching it. I am quite uncomfortable that people know who I am. Like it's always a bit weird walking into a room and it's
someone knows,
But it's like I've never chased fame. I come from being a chef. Saturday night services can be super stressful, but they're also my
That's the rush, yeah.
They're the thing that I love. Yeah. So if you gave me the choice of being in either one, it would be a Saturday night service. Yeah.
Well, one last one actually. Does Michelin stars make you happy, or is it everything? Is what I'm trying to ask.
Is it everything? It is. It's helped make businesses. It's most definitely helped make ours. It's been. And what they do is give you a level of standard that you personally are trying to achieve, and because you don't know what boxes you need to tick for a Michelin star. Like there isn't a process that you have to have this and this and this. That nobody knows what it is, but you do have to drive yourself to personal, professional standards that take you to that space. And I really enjoy that process of it, and then asking more questions of yourself and trying to get better. So Michelin stars are incredibly important from a team perspective, for personal standards, but then on a bigger picture, your team that then work with you, that you attract staff, or staff will leave you after 2 or 3 years going, I've worked in a Michelin star or a 2 Michelin star space. Right. So for their point of view, it makes them feel proud that they've done it. It makes their parents feel proud that they're there, and all of those sort of things. So they are incredibly important because they're seen as a global standardization of something that is good. So
it's a measurement.
It's a measurement. If you are cooking for the Michelin Guide, you're doing it for the wrong reason. But if you are cooking for the guests, because the guests read the Michelin Guide and they know that there's a level, if you're cooking to that level, That's what you need to be aiming for, and the Michelin guy will recognise it.
Right.
So do you know what I mean? You don't cook for them; you cook for you.
It's the perspective of why you're doing it, isn't it?
Why you do it, and it is the greatest guide in the world. And there'll be people who say, no, it's not. It's this and that, or that it doesn't matter anymore because there's social media and all of those things. Yeah, no, that it doesn't matter in terms of getting bums on seats or what you do, but actually in terms of just the standardisation of your own standards and your team standards and giving them something to feel proud about. That's great. Like saying I work in a restaurant that's got 100,000 followers. I mean, great. I work in a restaurant with 20 followers, but it has a Michelin star.
That's what you want.
From a young chef's perspective, that means much more.
Yeah, and I suppose it is understanding all that, isn't it? And really what's important. Again, I know there's the young chefs at Fallow that have really done, they've done really well.
They're amazing. Yeah. But Fallow's a great restaurant.
I've eaten there as well, and it is lovely. And again, I actually didn't even have a table, I had the bar, and I fucking loved that. And again, it kind of comes back to the service. The staff behind the bar were great. The atmosphere was buzzing. It was a Sunday after, it was fucking rammed. We were allowed to take the dog in there. Like, it was just, and I wasn't walking great at the time, and they really were accommodating and things like that. That just... Actually, I'd be brutally honest, the food is absolutely amazing. And I'm not saying that I don't remember the food. I don't really remember the food. It was what they did in there, right? And that's just, I think, what we're coming back to every time, isn't it? Like, quality is amazing, but service is a really big thing.
You had a good meal there. You don't necessarily remember. You remember the
atmosphere. It was the roast.
You remember the serving.
It was a roast, and the meat was amazing. And we took it away because we couldn't eat it all. It was great.
I've been to Fallow 3-4 times, and I love it. I think it's great. But they got great energy. But their social team is also really good. They've got
that's why I was jumping on. It is like, and I think that's where they have grabbed it with both hands, which I think a lot of people are trying to do, but actually in the way they've done it, it's not like it's not a second thought. It's actually what they realise it's important.
It's a business proposal.
Yeah, exactly. It's part of it.
But also, because it's a great restaurant, they cook great food. It hasn't got a Michelin star, but it has got great cooking in it.
Yes.
If you're a chef that's working there, you're learning loads. You're seeing
it's fast paced as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it's fast paced. You're learning service, but you're learning how to make things. You're learning how to cook different things from different processes, whether it's braising, using cheaper ingredients, doing all of those sort of things that Fallow does really well. If you do 2 or 3 years at Fallow, you are coming out as a great chef with brilliant hands that know what they're doing. Do you know what I mean? It's a good grounding space. It's a great restaurant to be at.
Yeah, I had a great experience there. But obviously, Tom, we want to wrap up. But the last thing I want to ask is, like, what have you got going on in the next couple of years? Have you got anything to...
We got a TV show coming out in July. Tom Kerridge cooks Italy, which was brilliant to film. I went out to Italy for a few months backwards.
Sir Tom?
No,
is that on the cards?
No, that's not on the cards.
Will that ever happen?
Yeah, well,
if you're offered?
I don't think so. We're working really hard to probably not get that. What we do, actually, there's a big campaign that... When does this get aired? When's this going out?
Probably next week.
This week, Thursday, potentially, yeah.
So there's a big drive at the minute from behind the scenes of trying to save hospitality, the same as you are from a perspective in the high street, from retail, trying to drive and get people to understand the issues and the costs coming in. So there's a huge campaign that's going to be driven starting early this summer all the way through to budget about saving hospitality or giving it an opportunity for growth, which would be pushing for VAT reduction down to 10% to bring it in line with the rest of Europe. So that's going to be
an impact. That's
going to be the biggest. That's going to be the biggest thing that we're going to be on for the next 4 or 5 months. So
okay.
And
you're heavily involved. Are you quite involved in that?
Very involved in that, and then conversations. I'm very fortunate to being able to have conversations with government front bench ministers with this government and previous government. You know, I think when you end up finding your space with a voice, you've got to use it. Yeah. Yeah, I second that. And then we go.
Let me cut that prick's hair.
No,
he won't do it. And I'll cook him a meal. Yeah, we'll probably fuck him up. Anywho, honestly, Sir Tom, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you on. It's been an absolute pleasure, honestly. Thank you for coming.
A most embarrassing moment there was an evening where we were doing a chef's table perspective where we were cooking for 10 people in front of them, all of us as chefs, and there was loads of other chefs in there, and there was lots of different tables in one great big room for a big charity gig. And we started cutting our main course. So everyone had an individual duck pie, and we're slicing it in front of them to serve their duck pie. And you cut through the middle of it, and just as you feel the knife go through, you think, "Fuck me, this is raw." And you open it up, and all the pies are fucking raw.
How many was it? Sorry,
10 people in front of all the guests and all the other chefs and everything. It's one of the horrific moments that I've had in from a chef's perspective, because you stand there and you think, "Fuck, I've fucking no idea how to solve this."
It's not like you just put it back in the pan or anything.
It's too late at that stage.
It was a big fucking problem. And you can see everyone looking at you going, fucking 2 Michelin stars. And so that's one of the worst ones, because I think it doesn't come from, it's not falling over, it's not shitting yourself. It's actually from a professional perspective. You go, fucking,
what have I done?
I just want the world to swallow me up.
The fucking mallards done me in.
That's the best sentence to finish this.
Tom, genuinely, thank you.
It was amazing.
We love your story, and we've been following it for ages, and genuinely, we just want to keep seeing you, man.
Thanks, bud.
Yeah,
thank you.
Appreciate it.
Mate.
And we'll be looking forward to our free meal.
10% off.
Perfect.
That's just the VAT.